Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis. And I hope you are all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are out there in the world. The Brics replacing the US dollar narrative is growing tremendously every single day. And it feels as though a lot of these news outlet companies are really just pushing it. And it's because it gets a ton of engagement. So ultimately, they keep the narrative going and they try to twist it in a way that suits them. Now, we have been talking about this narrative for a little bit of time. We have been tying it back to what Ripple and XRP are really kind of becoming, what's happening around DLT, what's happening around blockchain, what's happening with CBDC, stablecoins, etc., and if it does pertain to this. Here's a hint. It does. And in fact, it's actually in a very large way. But what we just saw from the Brics is just in 10 Asian countries to ditch the US dollar. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, countries are looking to promote local currencies for trade and ditch the US dollar for cross-border transactions. Now, is this a very big deal? Realistically speaking, yeah, it is, but it's not in the sense that everyone is really kind of looking at it, right? Because what we get from all of these announcements is, oh, the US dollar is getting replaced, the US dollar is dead, the US dollar is finished, etc., etc., etc. So what's really going on? Well, let's talk about it. So over here we have Brics trade hits new record as US dollar takes a big hit. Now, they surpassed $50 billion for the first time in history. Okay? This is a big deal. As we really look at trade growth and dominance, the Brics are gaining momentum. We have Brics nations trade reaches $50 billion record in local currencies. Throughout the last year, the Brics Economic Alliance has not been shy about its de-dollarization hopes. Moreover, the bloc has successfully instituted a global transition, with a plethora of countries opting for increased gold holdings and economic diversification. The key here is gold holdings. The methods have seen many alliance members facilitate the complete absence of the greenback in trade. Moreover, the data showcases the detrimental capabilities of such actions. Specifically, the Brics trade has recently reached a new record as the US dollar took another massive blow. Now, what's interesting about all of this is the narratives that really kind of get pushed because of this, which is like, all right, it is getting replaced. The US dollar is done. What's going to happen next? Remember what I've said, right? I said it all the way back in roughly 2023. Yeah, it was August of 2023, so almost a year ago. It was, at the time, breaking news. South Africa's leader confirms that the Brics have reached agreement on the expansion process. We have reached agreement on the guiding principles, standards, criteria, and procedures of the Brics expansion process, said South Africa's leader. What I said was significant changes in motion. Too many are blinded by the false idea of de-dollarization and the downfall of the US to see the real play at hand. We are seeing a complete realignment of our global financial system. Remember that the United Nations, dating back in 2019, said that they are pushing for a new global reserve regime based on a supranational currency made up of a basket of developed nations or nation currencies. Do you think it's a coincidence that we are now seeing a financial war beginning? How many articles have been posted this year talking about de-dollarization, now the death of the US dollar? Problem, reaction, solution. This is all part of the game. I have mentioned this countless times. We are witnessing the beginning to the new system dominated by digital utility assets. I hope you have been focused on the real picture. Now, this is what my thought process has always been. Problem, reaction, solution. What are the Brics doing? What does the US have to do? Right? And we're going to address that here in a second. But first, I just want to say right now, for all of you watching, the free Discord just got a massive upgrade. You guys can join the free Discord right now by clicking the link down in the description below, as well as in the comments below, to get access to this free Discord. There's a ton of insights. There's a ton of features within that Discord as well. And for all of those out there that want to try the premium sector, right? This is a section within the Discord. You can trial this for 7 days right now. I'm telling you guys, there's so much value within the Discord. You won't regret joining. And if you do want to try out the free or the premium version, you guys are more than welcome to. There's going to be a link down in the description below, as well as in the comments below. So guys, go and join right now. It's the best time to be a part of it. Now, with that in mind, let's go over here. So this is the real deal. This was March 5th of this year. Brics will create payment system based on digital currencies and blockchain. This was a report. Now, this is to reduce its reliance on the US dollars in settlement. Now, what's interesting about this is, again, it's the de-dollarization narrative. Like, oh, they're moving to crypto and blockchain because they want to ditch the US dollar. Like, as we look at what's going on here, right? All of this is just based around the financial system changing. We knew about this years ago, and now today it's even more clear than ever. Down here we have also in February, the chair of the Financial Stability Board, which keeps an eye on the global financial system, wrote to finance ministers from the group of 20 that crypto assets, tokenization, and artificial intelligence remain priorities. So these are priorities from the G20. Like, they already told us what's happening here. Like, this is crazy to say the least. Now, what is the US doing? Are they just sitting back and letting this happen? Or is the US dollar going to die tomorrow? Like, what's going on? Well, over here, we have back in 2022, November 15th, what was happening during that time? FTX. Nobody was paying attention. US banks launch a digital dollar blockchain pilot. Mainstream financial institutions are working with the Federal Reserve to test a digital currency platform. The Brics are now doing this in May of this year. The US was already doing it back in 2022. No, they're not falling behind. No, they're not letting these things just happen. This is like going on in the US. They've already had this planned. And remember, back in March, a day after March of 2022, a day after they announced the sanctions against Russia, we got an executive order regarding CBDCs and digital currencies and even tokenization. But also over here, we have members of the US banking and payments community involved in this POC, are pleased to be working alongside the New York Innovation Center. That is part of the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. The NYIC collaborates with the private and public sectors on innovations aimed at enhancing the functioning of the global financial system and the ability of central banks to carry out their missions. Now, wait a second. Wasn't the Federal Reserve talking about how they're not planning on, launching a CBDC? They're not working on a CBDC. They're not even, in discussions about a CBDC. Yeah, they lied to you. They blatantly lied to you because this is their digital dollar blockchain pilot. These are major banks. As you look at the banks here, right? Like, I don't know if they do include it. So BNY Mellon, Citi, HSBC, MasterCard, PNC Bank, TD Bank, Truist, US Bank, and even Wells Fargo. Like, these are those major participants. So as we really look at this, right, it's just funny that they continue to lie to all of us by saying like, oh no, we're not planning anything around a digital dollar. We're not looking at a CBDC. We're not looking at any of that. And then we get this. And again, this is at a time where everyone was distracted, November of 2022. Now, as we look at this, right, what else is happening? Well, Zimbabwe introduced their new gold-backed currency. This was back in April. Guess what? Just recently, Zimbabwe has asked gold miners across the country to ramp up output to support the new gold-backed currency. A currency is directly tied to hard assets, not just imagination. Who would have thought? Interesting. Now, beyond this, Brics gold-backed currency, a new era with Russia's 2024 chairmanship. This was January 20th of this year. Over here, Texas committee passes bill to create 100% reserve-backed gold and silver-backed currencies. Very interesting. This was May 3rd of last year. Then we have January 9th of last year, rise of the gold-backed yuan. This is becoming a big narrative in terms of gold-backed currencies, and it's also pertaining to what's happening around the payment sector itself with the digital dollar blockchain project, with Brics, pushing to create a payment system based on digital currencies and even blockchain. It's all to support what's going on, which is us moving towards a digital gold-backed system. This is becoming a reality. It's no longer a conspiracy theory. Everyone that's been talking about how, no, this is not going to happen, it's not going to work, there's no way. Guess what? This is the reality that we're living in. Zimbabwe launched their gold-backed currency. We know that a lot of major US states want to pass bills to create 100% reserve-backed currencies in gold and even silver. Like, this is the real deal. And we know that inflation's only going to continue to brew more and more. And we also know that dominance around the US is also going to drop more and more as the Brics really kind of gain dominance. But it's all to fully embrace change. The entire financial system as we know it is changing right now. Now, also over here, we have when the foundation shakes. In March, we learned that Brics is actively developing a payment system utilizing the blockchain. Many countries are starting to link payment systems. Russia and China have almost stopped using the dollar in their mutual trade. Monetary evolution? Yes. We are in the middle of real-time chess match, fundamentally reshaping our global monetary system. Hot conflicts are erupting worldwide, financial warfare is escalating, and nations are scrambling to secure minerals to reduce dependency on others. The era of a unipolar world is crumbling, giving way to the rise of a multipolar global order. Trade between Russia and China surged by 26% to $240 billion in 2023, with over 90% of settlements conducted in their national currencies. This is very significant as the blueprint has arrived. China's trade with the other Brics members rose 11.3% year on year in the first quarter, underscoring the growing ties within the group. In late April, we learned that the United States is drafting sanctions that threaten to isolate some Chinese banks from the global financial system. These sanctions coincide with the United States' effort to confiscate $300 billion worth of Russian reserves like a light switch. With sanctions, America has consistently wielded its power like a conductor orchestrating a symphony of isolation and economic chaos to enforce its order. The result? More and more countries are shifting to localized trade to become less dependent on the dollar. They are starting to put their foot down. This week, a Russian IMF rep said Brics could offer an alternative currency in the event of the dollar's and the international monetary system's collapse. The International Monetary Fund has already warned us of the risk from the Western seizure of Russian assets. The United States sees itself as the captain of the economic world, using its economic muscle to impose sanctions on other countries and intimidate them into compliance. But they fail to see that they are aiming the economic gun at their foot, heading straight into a horrible storm that could leave them limping into it on one leg. Countries worldwide are joining forces to actively combat these financial weapons by aggressively stockpiling time-tested reserve assets such as gold, working on unified payment systems, and crafting new mechanisms to circumvent such threats. When trust is completely gone, it is the glass that breaks into a million pieces. It is almost impossible to piece it back together. In the week ahead, I will delve deeper into the topic, shedding light on why emerging markets have reached their limit and are intensely advocating for reform within the international monetary system. Many of these nations possess significant commodities that will be crucial to driving this reset and facilitating change. Of course, gold reigns supreme on the reset's chessboard, serving as the most strategic piece in the intricate puzzle. Lots of long-form articles are coming. And yes, as we really look at what's happening, right? Like, this is a financial chess match. Things are moving very fast. In fact, just recently on May 21st, we got this. This is the governor of the Bank of Thailand and also the governor of the People's Bank of China, together with their respective delegations, met in Beijing, the People's Republic of China, on May 21st. The discussions focused on strengthening banking and financial cooperation, including the promotion of local currency usage, as well as cross-border payment and settlement, all in local currencies. This is a big deal. These are changes happening that are going to be very significant in the evolution of our financial system. And what's funny about all of this is what China is doing as well. China has made minerals the centerpiece of its economic strategy. Gold is king on the chessboard. The country has prioritized minerals to corner the supply chain. They are investing in countries worldwide, particularly resource-rich nations, to see this vision through. And as we do look at gold, guys, HSBC just recently launched their HSBC gold token. This is a digital token on their DLT, backed by physical gold bars kept in their vault. And also, gold 24/7, here you have integrity using DLT. This is their tokenized gold. Tokenized gold narratives and the idea of it are heating up in a very large way, and now we're actually starting to see movement on this. Guess what? Gold could very well be revalued. And then we start to see tokenized weights of gold backing specific currencies. In my opinion, this is what's going to happen. And even over here, we have exploring the future of digital gold, tokenization, and beyond. And DLT is at the forefront of it. This is how things work. We're going to have gold-backed currencies issued out on DLT. We're also going to see gold tokenized on DLTs. This is all hinting at the same exact thing that I already told, which is, guess what? We are now starting to see our global financial system realigned. We're having a full reset. I do think that we are gearing up for that reset, just like we see here in terms of when the foundation shakes, guess what ends up happening? Change is coming. Things are happening. Currencies, technology, it's all changing. And guess what is at the forefront of it all? Gold with DLT. This is the two things that you need to be focused on right now. And yes, as we do look at Ripple and XRP, they have always been in the conversation when we're talking about changes happening around currencies, because payments are the big focus here. Cross-border payments, it's all the big focus here. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on, if you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.